So I hope you've had a great day, because today I'm genuinely suffering. My throat feels like sandpaper, and I can barely even talk without sounding like an idiot. Well, if I didn't already, of course. Well, anyway, we're talking about PlayStation and how Spider-Man 2 is coming to PC, and some people on Twitter aren't happy about it. I'm sure most PlayStation guys don't really care, but the actual PlayStation fanboys seem to hate the fact that it came relatively fast to the PC platform. Like, they used to tell us that the PC platform would never get these games, that it would always be an exclusive game to now. It will take you at least 5 to 3 years to get the game. Oh, now it's going to take you 2 years. Now it's going to take us around a year to eventually day and date. I don't think they realize that. And oh well, more people get to play the game, more people get to enjoy it on day one. Who really cares? I mean, the only real big issue about Spider-Man 2 is that it's easily the worst Spider-Man game. Like, not many people really like it, even though it sold relatively well, but I feel like most of those copies sold were done through a console bundle. I could be wrong. Maybe people like it, and I'm just a bit stupid. But it seems like almost everyone on Twitter is praising the fact that it's coming to PC and that they're able to change Mary Jane, which is pretty funny that that's the main thing that everyone's talking about. So anyway, let's go take a look at the first tweet, which is from Darkborn. So instead of making a DLC, you guys decide to make a port for people who will pirate your game and hack you guys again. Yes, because if we buy the game, we'll be able to somehow hack them. That's very smart. You know definitely what you're talking about. I can't believe you would lump these hackers that tried to ransom Insomniac stuff with us PC gamers, because clearly it was us that did it, even though they were just using PC. What if they were secretly Xbox fanboys? I mean, I wouldn't really care. It was still funny nonetheless, because we did learn a lot from those leaks, which was actually pretty cool. I quite enjoyed looking at it. I mean, of course, there were some bad things, like private data of these individuals going out there, which was genuinely bad, but everything else benefited us. This should also be said that the only reason why Sony has any issue with presumed piracy of their games is purely because they don't provide a good service and choose to lock out most of the world from actually playing the game. I'm sure there are a lot of people that can't access these PSN accounts that are huge fans of Spider-Man, or God of War, or Helldivers, but I don't think Helldivers still needs their requirements, so it's pretty good that it doesn't. Like, Sony only put this issue on themselves. They have no one else to blame but them for this, right? Because nobody wants to have a PSN account. That's just a giant security issue waiting to happen. It really makes you think that Sony, PlayStation, whoever, is really just allergic to money and doesn't realize that cutting all those countries out is going to make them a lot less money on PC. But then again, they probably sell a decent amount of games on PC just through Steam alone. Bro, I'm honestly suffering listening to my audio right. I sound like ass because my nose is blocked, bro. Like, stop being blocked, idiot. Just unblock. Please, I'm begging you. I don't want to sound like a retard no more. Oh wait, no, I already sounded like one. Anyway, on to the next tweet. So these next couple of tweets that we are going to cover are mainly talking about copyright strike. The individual hasn't done anything yet, so that could change after this video, but I thought I would just let you know. So let's get started. So this starts off with Fratanga talking about his thumbnail for his next video. And then Blue Urkel himself responds, "Good thing I have a copyright on Blue Urkel. I'm just waiting for the upload. I ain't these other motherfuckers, closet cuck. I ain't taking this shit down, Lamau." And then Fratanga replies, "Lol, show me your license for it then." Blue Urkel responds, "I ain't gonna show you shit. All I gotta do is click through this form on as much as your shit as I feel like, and then watch the tears." Do you really think it's going to be a good idea to try and strike someone that was going to take legal action against a BG for falsely copyright striking videos? I don't know about you, but that doesn't seem like a very reasonable thing to do, or even attempt when he's pretty much showed you what's going to happen when someone else did it previously. Maybe that's why you haven't done anything, because you know exactly what is going to happen. Okay, let's continue going on. Urkel further tweets, "You don't have Steve Urkel in your thumb, you stupid shit. 20 now. Finishing this bowl and mollywomping you. But I ain't BG, bitch." Fratanga responds, "Low income thought process." Urkel responds, "You're dumb but out. Get the tissues ready," and then he shows a link of him going through the copyright strike process, or copyright process. I really want to know what you gain from doing this. Like, yeah, you're the center of attention for some time, but is what you're doing really worth? Because people are going to remember you as that guy that either didn't have the balls to copyright strike someone, or just is doing it to mess around. Pretty much just take the piss out of people, which is kind of funny, but at the same time, I wouldn't do that to someone's livelihood, especially when they make money off of that, and that's one of the main ways that they can continue living. It's not the most nicest thing to do. Now, I'm going to leave the last two up on the screen. If you want to read them, you can just pause the video right now if you so desire. It doesn't really add much to the conversation, but it kind of gives you an idea of where the conversation went, but I will talk about this one. As our favorite main man for this video, Urkel, responded to Sid Alpha. The last time I've ever watched Sid Alpha was during, I think, the Isle stuff when that was going down with him, but that's some time ago. But regardless, Sid Alpha is someone that would probably be very knowledgeable on this, as he's going into, I believe, a legal battle, or is already in a legal battle with, Acerthorn. I forgot his name for a second. But Sid Alpha is correct. You're a bit of a psycho fanboy going around threatening people that you're gonna copyright strike them and take them down if they use your blue Urkel in whatever else because somehow you own a license for it, even though that's not how it works. It's an AI image. I don't think it can be copyright. I don't know how that works. Copyright around that stuff may not even work. And then again, it's not even your work to begin with, to my knowledge. So I don't even think you could even own any form of copyright for it. And was it really worth going out of all this way to start stuff and go around and just being a bit silly on the internet purely because someone used you in their video? I mean, yeah, you can have a bit of fun with it, I don't really care if you do that, but immediately jumping to copyright strikes and saying you're gonna take down their channel, that's kind of annoying, especially if you're gonna do it or not, you never know, but putting them on edge and making them fear for some form of their livelihood is pretty annoying. I'm sure none of you want to be in that position. I'm sure you wouldn't want to be in that position. Or would you? Is that your kink? Maybe that is. Anyway, let's move on to the next fanboy, as he is mainly talking about Xbox and somehow relating Spider-Man 2 coming to PC back to Xbox. Because somehow Xbox is involved with this, or somehow Xbox has some ties to this, or somehow we need to mention Xbox is associated or whatever is with this, or Xbox doesn't get the game, whatever. We somehow need to put Xbox in this conversation somehow, when they're not even meant to be there in the beginning. Our first tweet is from Unleashed, exclusively, not on Xbox. Thank you, Sony and Insomniac. Now, this may be a bit of a hot take, but I do believe eventually Sony's games will come to Xbox, just like what Microsoft's doing now, as they realize that there's going to be more and more money to be had. Because what's the point in excluding people when you can just make more money and your brand gets to survive longer? I don't know. I don't really care. I'm on PC, but that's just kind of the thing that I've always interpreted that will happen. I know a lot of people disagree with me when I say that. But if you wish to say something about that, you can say it in my comments or harass me on Twitter. I think that would be very fun. Please, I need more love on Twitter. Please, I'll do anything. Anyway, on to the next tweet. Our next tweet is from Unleashed. Disney required Indiana Jones to be on PS5. Disney did not require Spider-Man 2 to be on Xbox. Flawless victory. PlayStation wins. I just realized I'm losing my voice. I better get this done quick. I guess this video is going to be a bit shorter than expected, but oh well, I guess you don't mind. You still get a video at the end of the day. But anyway, I don't think this is Marvel's decision. I think the only thing Marvel really cares about when it comes to these games is if they make the money and sell a certain amount of copies. That is pretty much it. It's really up to Sony or Microsoft if they want to see these on other platforms. If they're able to make that money on that one platform, go ahead. And this is the big thing that I remember hearing a lot about during the Insomniac leaks. I think during that data breach, we did find the contract and what it said about what they need to do with a lot of these games when it comes to Sony owning the IPs for these games. They need to sell a certain amount of those copies to keep the IP under their belt. And if they don't, they lose it. So I could be entirely wrong, but I think this was one of the major reasons why they bundled it in with the console, because they're like, oh look, we sold more of the games, and even though you're getting it with the console and you may never play it, they still sold another unit of that game. I could be entirely wrong, but that's kind of the way that I've kind of seen a lot of that stuff and how I believe they're going to approach it, and maybe eventually, maybe not as fast as Xbox did it, but eventually bring it to Xbox. I know, a bit of a hot take, but you can crucify me in the comments if you disagree, but I do believe everyone will have everyone's games eventually. Anyway, moving on to our final tweet of the day. I can't be bothered covering anymore, I'm literally dying. But anyway, I'm not going to read this entire thing, you can pause and read it yourself, but this mouth breather doesn't understand, and this guy often talks about stuff like he understands it, right? He always talks about sales, numbers, and how the consoles are developed. But this creature believes games are actually developed on the PlayStation. I can't tell you how miserable it must be to develop a game on a controller. This creature literally knows nothing about anything that he talks about. He just says big words and thinks he can get away with it. But I'm not gonna let you. You stink. Shoo. Bad nib. Stupid idiot. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video here. I'm gonna die slowly and painfully in bed, so you will have a great day. I'll see you on the next one.